Brett. Go ahead and have a seat, Brett.
Oh.
Your fancy name. Just yours? We'll take one more. We're a little tight, but.
Welcome everyone to this very important press availability and a trophy availability. We've got 4 distinguished gentlemen here today. We start to my left with Jay Fry, the IndyCar President of Competition and Operations. From Sunoco, Fred McConnell, the Director of Fuels Marketing. On the far end there is Dale Coyne, famed race car driver and now team owner of Dale Coyne Racing. And of course, our special guest is Ed Jones, who's had a terrific season. I'm going to start this by letting Jay have a little conversation.
Well, thank you, Kurt. What an honor to be here. If you look at last year's Indy Lights champion, now this year's IndyCar Rookie of the Year, I think that the whole program, MRTI, is really working well. We're really excited to be part of it. One of the things we talk a lot about youth. Next year, I think we have 9 drivers confirmed. So, almost half the field that are still in their 20s. So we've got a lot of young talent, and Ed's one of the leaders of that, and we're real proud of him.
Fred, I believe you've got a trophy there to hand out.
I do, thank you, Jay. This is always an exciting award for us to give. Sunoco has a long history of supporting young drivers. It's very important from our perspective as fans of the sport and partners to be able to support young drivers, give them a platform, an opportunity to succeed, and then to be able to recognize that success. And winning the Sunoco Rookie of the Year award is always a precursor for a great career. And Ed, I'm so proud, and at Sunoco we're very proud to have you now as a part of that Sunoco heritage, and just very proud of the great season that you had, and very happy to be able to present you with this Sunoco Rookie of the Year award.
Yeah, thank you very much, and first of all, thanks to everyone for coming out, and it's been a great year for us. It's an honor to receive this award. There's so many great drivers in the past that have won it as rookies, and have moved on to be champions and won a lot of races. So I'm hoping I can be part of that. I got to thank Dale Coyne Racing for the opportunity I've had this year. And working alongside Seb and a great team of engineers, which has really allowed me to progress quickly and have some of the great results we've had. So it's been a fantastic year. As we said, coming through the Master Road to Indy was really key to my success this year. As before 2015, I only raced in Europe, so learning all the American circuits was really important for me, and to do that in Indy Lights was really helpful. And learning ovals, and a part of that was the Indy 500. A result was if I hadn't done Indy Lights, I wouldn't have been able to gain that experience and been able to do that. So it's key for young and up and coming drivers like myself to go through that and make it in IndyCar.
Dale, obviously the 3rd place finish at the Indy 500 will be the signature moment of the season for your team and for Ed. But talk about the maturity that Ed displayed all through the season, but especially when Sebastian went down and you really leaned on Ed to deliver for the team.
Well, I think it's been a whole progression the whole year. I mean, we've run a lot of rookies over the years, and we run rookies in tests that have never made it to a race. We've run rookies that have made it to races, and when you take a rookie to a test, his first test, you usually know right away what you're going to get, and that's been pretty straightforward everywhere we go. We remember we had a rookie once named Paul Tracy, and he was first day in his test. He's 3 seconds faster than Danny Sullivan. A little hard on the car, but 3 seconds faster. And he turned out to be that way, incredibly fast, but it took him a while calm down and not tear cars up and gearboxes and everything else. But and Ed was that way. Ed was that way. But the biggest surprise with Ed was his racecraft. I think when we got to the tracks, he would always, he's never crashed this year. He's had a couple little spins, but never crashed. So that's very welcome on our team because we crashed plenty with the other car. And but he just there was a performance criteria that we had and some stuff that we negotiated long and hard with Honda, and he nailed those every race. I mean, it's like it was they weren't sure what he was going to be. We weren't either, and he was a very pleasant surprise. And obviously, Indy, third place there. Did you get Rookie of the Year Indy or not? I didn't get that. Okay. But he deserved it. He finished third with a very important piece of aero equipment off of his car that I think he would have had a chance to win that race. So he's done a tremendous job. I think he's gained a great deal of respect from everybody in the pit that we talked to. A lot of respect for him. A lot of teams have talked to him about his future, and I think he's been very, very good this year. A very, very pleasant surprise, and I mean that shows for his maturity. He's young, 22.
Yeah.
So that's just a puppy. But, he's done a good job. Very, very good.
By the way, other IndyCar rookies of the year that are currently racing: Sebastian Bourdais, Marco Andretti, Will Power, Ryan Hunter-Reay, James Hinchcliffe, Simon Pagenaud, and Alexander Rossi. So it is perhaps foretelling of the kind of success that can be had. Didn't you say, Dale, that the first scratch on the car was at Detroit?
I don't think he scratched it.
No, a scratch. You said, look.
Scratched it at Detroit?
No, I didn't crash, but
No, you didn't
touched the
crash.
wall just
Oh, you did? A small crash.
a
Small.
few times at Long Beach as well.
He was,
But it's just the tires.
he spun. You did hit the wall at Pocono, but you did the smallest amount of damage I've ever seen anybody do hitting a wall at Pocono. He spun and then just didn't even broke the nose, not even that. So it's just an end fence. So done a very good job all year long, every kind of track.
Questions for any of the Wolfgang? And we have a microphone.
Yes, thank you. Ed, first of all, congratulations. Wayne, it's impressive to see you winning the Rookie of the Year, but even more impressive for myself, you're representing a country which has absolutely no history in motor racing, Dubai. That means when you return now from America to Dubai, you expect that you also get some prizes or awards in your home country.
Now, obviously, I like that very much, but I was born in Dubai, I grew up there, and as you said, motorsport over there is still very small, and I don't think there's no other drivers which have really gone up into that highest level of motorsport, like IndyCar. So yeah, it's great to be representing even that region. Yeah, hopefully I can help them take more interest in motorsport, and it's grown a lot since even when I started. So I'm hoping I can be the pioneer for that, and I can encourage more guys to see what I've done and start to come over to America and try and do the same thing.
Steve, over here on the right.
Congrats, Ed. What is the one best piece of advice that Dale's given you this year?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say. There's a lot of advice that Dale's given me, but he's always been very supportive of learning everything step by step and learning from Seb, and every time I get to every weekend and even every session, I remember he was early on. It was just try to learn as much as you can and take it step by step, and not. There's no need to overdo it early on, because there's a lot of guys. Well, I've seen myself as well. There's a lot of guys rookies or younger guys that will come in and they try to be right at the front at the beginning, and in a series that's so competitive like this, it doesn't really happen that often, or it's extremely difficult to do it, and sometimes doing that you can actually take steps backwards because you kind of lose where you're at. So it's always better to take it step by step and get there that way.
I'd point out just real quickly, we're joined by also by Ed's father, Russell. His mother, Elaine, apparently is touring the area.
She's wine tasting with Gail.
This took a backseat, I'm sure. we've had this award wrapped up so she could take a breath. Tony.
Ed, without having another full-time rookie to compare yourself or beating that, what was kind of like, where did you want to finish in the points? I mean, was it like a top 10 or top 15 or something? I mean, what was kind of like a realistic expectation for where you think you could do?
Yeah, it's always difficult not having another full-time rookie to compare to, but then again, I've looked at the rookies over the last few years and I've seen it's extremely tough. So I feel pretty happy with how it's gone in comparison to other guys recently. But you know, I wanted to finish top 10 in the points, and you know, I feel like halfway through the season we were on track to doing that and had a really good opportunity to do it. The last few races, things have maybe not gone to plan. But I feel like as a driver I got stronger, but you know, early on in the season I had some really great results, and yeah, I was driving well, but also a lot of things fell my way and I was pretty lucky in that sense, whereas I think now we've gotten better, me as a driver and also binding with the team, and we've got stronger, but things just haven't gone our way, so it's been frustrating, but I think if we can have a good race this weekend we can get ourselves back up there, maybe just outside the top 10, but if we can do that, it would be a great job.
By the way, Dale mentioned all the rookies he's had. This is only the second driver to finish with the Rookie of the Year award, the other being Alex Lloyd in 2010. Other questions? Yes, sir.
Ed, is this your first race at Sonoma?
Yeah, yes it is. You know, I tested here a few times in Indy Lights, but I've never raced here.
As a rookie, how do you adapt to a track? How do you learn as quickly as you can to get up to speed?
Yeah, it does vary a lot on the different types of tracks, you know, say with the ovals as well. There's some tracks you go to and instantly it's not too difficult to learn, and as I said, doing Indy Lights last year has helped me massively with a lot of the tracks that we've gone to, but it's probably the track or the weekend where I felt it was the hardest for me was Detroit, which was the first race without Seb, and the first race which had a new track for me. And that was quite difficult, you know, street circuit, and I find that the American circuits in general are a lot harder to learn quickly, in the sense that there's a lot less room for error. So you can't, you know, whereas in Europe when I was learning tracks, you go out and you could go over the top and you had miles of runoff to make a mistake and you'd still be alright. Whereas here you have to build it up a bit more because you make a small mistake and it's much more costly. So yeah, it's been difficult. There's been tracks like Texas, one of the ovals, where going there looked pretty daunting, but I got on there and immediately it was like my favourite, one of my favourite places to be. So yeah, it just depends on the circuit, and also, you know, if you get to the track with a good car straight away, it makes things a lot easier as well. So fortunately, we've had that at most places. So yeah.
And how are you enjoying racing here in Sonoma?
Yeah, I really like the track. It's very challenging. You know, in the mornings it's usually a bit nicer with the cooler temps. You can, through the high speed stuff, the car's always going to be faster through there, and it's pretty amazing how quick you can go. And you know, yeah, it's just the temperature change is such a big difference around here. It makes it very difficult for the driver and both the engineers as well. So if we can have a good weekend, I think it's a very yeah, it's a place where it's very rewarding to get it right because it's so difficult to do it.
Question over here?
Question for both Dale and Ed. How have you guys stayed resilient in what's been a very up and down year for Dale Coyne Racing overall?
Yeah, it's been very tough, but you know, the whole team together, everyone within the team works very well together from the beginning of the year. It was a big shame to lose Seb after for quite a few races, but everyone got on well with it. I remember, you know, after that accident, actually Dale got everyone together and we pushed forward. And I think, you know, there's been a lot of times that Dale's team, there's been things that have happened and gone up and down, but as we've seen, they've always come back stronger. And I feel that was just another case of that. And it's another reason why, you know, if it's possible, I'd love to stay with the team, as I feel like it's a really great place to be, and everyone has a great working relationship, and we can strive to be even better next year.
Yeah, I mean, there's been huge up and downs this year. You know, we went into Indy, you know, could have been leading the championship coming out of Indy. Again, you know, we led it for the first 3 races with Seb, and and he was certainly the leader of the team, but it was a big benefit for Ed to be able to coattail on that, learn from him. And the crashes, we had a lot of crashes in May and June, and so we went on from that, but he's been a trooper, he's worked well, we get set back earlier than we thought, that was good for the team, and then they just work good together. I mean, I think that's the engine, I think the group of people that we have, the entire team that we put together this year is the best we've ever had, and it's raised our stock as a team, and we look at this not as what's going on now, we're looking into next year. You know, when we started this, we looked into next year. We knew there'd be new spec aero kits next year, and that levels the playing field for everybody, where we have an advantage, we don't anymore, where Chevy had an advantage, they don't anymore. So I think next year is really what we were focused on from the beginning. We were surprised at everybody's performance in the beginning. I think for Seb to win his first race, for this guy to be doing as good as he was doing, I think was a surprise for all of us. So we really look forward to next year.
Ed, when Sebastian went down, at what point it was harder for you?
Yeah, it's mainly for me. Seb's got so much experience in these cars that with the setup. You know, he would go out on the first run, and he would know straight away whether it's the car's in the right place, whether it's going to be right or it's wrong. And for me, I didn't have that experience yet. I'm still learning a lot, and so I wasn't always sure if it was just me or there was a lot with the car. And yeah, that was the main thing. You know, Seb is really good with setting up the car, and having his feedback to work off from was really helpful. So, you know, if I ever wasn't sure about something, I could use him to back something up, and not having him there was made it harder, and sometimes I was guessing a bit more. So yeah, that was the toughest part. But you know, on the other hand, you know, it was a big shame to lose him there. But for my rookie season, it was almost, you know, now I feel like it's a rookie season where I've experienced a lot of different things within the team and a lot of different scenarios, and it's only going to make me better and give me a stronger opportunity next year.
Do we have any questions upstairs?
No questions.
Okay. Dale, you said that a lot of people have asked about his future. He'd like to stay with the team. Can we broker a deal today?
Just about. We're very, very close, so I would love to have Ed back next year. So we're working on that now, and we need to get after next year's plan, so we need to know who our drivers are as quick as we can.
We got a couple of good ones. Any other questions? One last one here from Wolfgang.
A question for you, Dale. When did Ed first caught your attention? When he was doing Indy Lights, or also when he was racing already Europe?
It was Indy Lights. You know, we went to his last race at Laguna Seca. We won the championship. We kept an eye on him. We keep an eye on all the Indy Lights guys pretty close. I mean, it's here, it's with us. We can see him. We can watch him race. We can see how aggressive they are. He was always smooth in the car. I didn't know how good he was going to be because he was smooth. So he doesn't look like Paul Tracy in the car, but he drives better than Paul Tracy did in the races. So, at least in the beginning. at least Paul's first year. So he was a pleasant. Again, he was the biggest surprise we've ever had. You know, he looked very smooth and consistent in the car, and he was in these cars, and these cars need that. So they're big, they're heavy, they're powerful. So you need to be smooth in these cars.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Congratulations, Ed. You were very deserving, regardless of how many guys were in the field. This was a strong drive, third at Indy support set. If we can get a photo op here, and we'll conclude.